No Man's Sky is finally here after years of excitement and expectations. We've been waiting to explore the galaxy for years now, but before you go shooting across the stars, you'll have to deal with a crashed spaceship with no gas, a busted multi-tool, and whatever the local environment has to throw at you. This is Andrew from Curse, and today we're going to go over the tips and tricks you need to know to get started exploring the universe. When you start the game, you'll awaken near the crash site of your spaceship, and pretty much everything but your suit will be completely busted. Your explorer's spirit might kick in here and tell you to start traveling the planet for resources and to see what kinds of wildlife you may find. But hold on just a second. There are containers around your crash site with materials that can help you out. At best, you may find damaged machinery containing blueprints for equipment upgrades. You won't be able to actually craft the upgrades until later, but once you acquire the blueprints, you can make them anytime. If you're used to crafting and survival games, you may have developed the tendency to stockpile key types of resources. So when your multi-tool says it needs 25 iron and 25 carbon to repair it, you might be tempted to spend the extra time collecting 200 of each and everything else you come across. Don't. First off, your inventory space is very limited. You can upgrade it later, but until that time, focus on gathering the basics. There will be plenty of time to load up once your equipment is fixed. Over-collecting resources puts you on the radar of the Sentinels, whose entire job is to keep people from over-collecting resources in one location. If you really want to collect 5,000 iron in the same area, you can try, but after a while, a Sentinel will come and will scan you with a blue light. That's a warning, telling you to ease up on your resource collecting. If you ignore it and keep on strip mining, the Sentinel will attack. Individual Sentinels aren't incredibly strong, and defeating them gets you titanium, but they're probably more than you can handle when you're first starting out, especially since they can summon reinforcements. When you're starting out, it's better just to heed their warning and walk away. There's a good chance you'll find friendly animals on your first planet, and they probably eat something that is readily available to you. But feeding the local fauna isn't just something you do for fun. Befriending the locals will sometimes get them to point out nearby resources, or even present you with a gift of materials, sometimes rare ores. That, or you can always just kill them for the carbon. No Man's Sky handles objectives a little different than most games. Because they don't want to pull you away from the exploration aspect of the game, there is no quest map, and waypoint markers are mostly just to mark points of interest, not critical path points. What there is, however, is a message that pops up in the lower right portion of your screen periodically, reminding you of what your main objective is. If you ever get so caught up in just wandering around that you forget what you're supposed to be doing, check the bottom right of the screen for a little refresher. It wouldn't be a space exploration game without alien races to communicate with. You can find knowledge stones that help you decipher each race's language and parts, but it's very slow going. Sometimes, even if you can't understand what the alien is saying, tossing a few units their way may be the difference in finding a cooperative new trading partner or not. Playing No Man's Sky is a constant battle against inventory space, so it's probably good to know before heading out on foot that your spaceship has a storage hold, and it's generally about twice as big as what you can carry. Better yet, you can just teleport your stuff from your inventory to your ship's inventory, even if you're way out in the field. Though make sure you don't need it first, because the teleportation doesn't work both ways. Once you've sent something to your ship, you have to go back to your ship to get it. Also, if you're trading for a new spaceship, take your resources out of your ship first, or the alien you trade with will assume your cargo was just part of the deal. Once you've repaired your multi-tool, you'll regain access to the analysis visor. While the galactic discoveries in the game, like planets and star systems, tag automatically just by entering them, flora and fauna are a little bit different. You'll need to zoom in on new discoveries with your analysis visor to tag them. Doing this not only lets you name the discoveries, but will also let you upload your discoveries to the library, which is one of the most reliable ways to earn money in the early game. Should you get a little too far from your landing site and forget where you left your ship, don't worry. There's a little line at the top of your screen that will help you navigate. Keep turning until you see a little white blip on the radar. That's most likely your ship. That being said, make sure you're reasonably equipped before you go explore out as far as you can and lose sight of home base. The extreme elements of each planet can quickly eat away at your suit's resistances and make your life miserable and short. Once you've repaired and refueled your spaceship, you can fly it, either in atmosphere or out into space. But there's no special button that lets you go to space. It's the same as flying normally. If you want to escape the atmosphere and get out into space, you'll want to pay attention to a small display that shows your bearing. You want to tilt your spaceship until you're heading at about 90 degrees. Get there, hold it, put on the jets, and then boom, space. Your suit, ship, and multi-tool have one thing in common when you start out. They're all trash, and you should upgrade them as soon as you can. You can upgrade your exosuit with companion units. Go for the storage upgrades first. It'll make all the others easier. Your starting multi-tool with only 6 slots isn't even worth upgrading. Invest in a brand new one with more slots as soon as you can by trading it at a nearby space station. For spaceships, you can either spend the units to buy a new one at a space station or look for a wrecked one by checking out transmissions on different planets. You can rebuild a wrecked spaceship the same way you did with your starter ship, and it's a very good chance it'll be an upgrade from your starter. The game doesn't do a great job of telling us this, but you do have a sprint button in the game. On PlayStation 4, it's mapped to R3. Be careful though, since the stamina depletes quickly while sprinting. Also, once you've upgraded your multi-tool to have the more powerful bolt caster weapon, you can use the triangle button to switch from it back to your mining laser. Once you get out into space, fuel for your pulse engine is easy enough to find. Just find the nearest cluster of asteroids and start shooting. Soon enough, you'll find yourself practically swimming in Thanium-9, which you can then use to continue your star-hopping journey. Most planets that we've seen in No Man's Sky have ravines and caverns that can be explored, with some incredible results. But on planets where the surface temperature is making it hard not to freeze or burn to death, those caverns can be very useful, as their temperatures are far more moderate, and being down there usually lets you recover your suit's thermal resistance. When you get to your first space station, the first thing to do is to go inside and have a look at what's in the shop. But the second thing is to talk to the other ships that fly in and out while you're there. If you have a savvy business sense, you'll notice that some aliens will buy stuff from you at twice the normal cost. This is a quick way to make units, especially if you end up picking up valuable trade commodities for sale. To trade with a ship or the alien in the ship, just walk up to it in the hangar and interact with it. From this screen you can buy, sell, and even buy the ship itself if you really want. Those are our beginning tips and tricks if you're getting started in No Man's Sky. If you're looking for more, make sure to check out our wiki over at Gamepedia or head over to nomansky.gg. This has been Andrew saying thanks for watching and enjoy the game.